Namaste and good morning. Honorable Justice Uday Umesh Lalit, Honorable Chief Justice of India, His very gracious spouse, Mrs. Samita Lalit, my distinguished brother, Justice M.R. Shah, Justice S. Murlidhar, the Chief Justice of the Odisha High Court, members of the Odisha High Court's E-Committee, and judges of the Odisha High Court, the Chief Secretary, the Additional Chief Secretary, Director General of Police, members of the District Judiciary, the Chief Postmaster General, and everyone present today. I'm truly honored to be invited here this morning to deliver a short address on the occasion of the inauguration of the paperless courts in all the districts in Odisha. I cannot think of a better way for the High Court of Odisha to celebrate its 75th anniversary than by launching the Paperless Courts initiative. It's virtually raining a monsoon of initiatives, e-initiatives in Odisha under the able stewardship of Chief Justice Murlidhar. Whether it is by the digitization of records, preparing a futuristic record room, paperless courts, vulnerable witness deposition centers, and I'm truly honored to be a part of these initiatives. The term paperless courts can sound like an oxymoron to those who are familiar with the legal system, because we are aware that litigation is often accompanied by voluminous case files. But we must make every effort to remember that our courts are not incompatible with the use of technology. To the contrary, they are ripe with the potential for the many uses that technology offers. The current initiatives is therefore certainly tapping into that potential. A paperless court, as its name suggests, is a court which functions without physical paper books, where judges rely on digitized court records during court proceedings. Advocates are not required to file physical copies of paper books, and the state may be served with an e-copy of the paper book. Of course, judges still think like judges and lawyers argue like lawyers, but they argue and we think and we decide with the aid of paperless e-technology. There are many advantages that paperless courts bring with them. They are more cost-effective to litigants who will no longer have to bear the cost of printing case files. So technology is not for the elite, it's for those to whom the delivery of justice is intended to be. Our litigants will serve precious time for lawyers who may soon find themselves burning less midnight oil, stitching together paper books and preparing volumes upon volumes of annexures. Apart from this, valuable space in courts and offices will no longer be taken up with the storage of physical files. Information regarding cases will now be at the fingertips of lawyers and judges, who can access any part of a case file with a mere click of the mouse button. The paperless court initiative is also a step towards ensuring that our legal system is more accessible for judges and lawyers with disabilities. Above all, paperless courts are environmentally sustainable because they will, as their name suggests, reduce the consumption of paper. It is estimated that the Indian legal system is responsible for the use of millions, if not billions, of sheets of paper in any given year. The inauguration of paperless courts in Odisha will certainly go a long way in ensuring that this number is reduced. All the advantages that I have listed are doubly beneficial in the context of the district courts, because it is there that a lion's share of the country's litigation takes place. On a slightly lighter vein, the only disadvantage of paperless courts is that young lawyers will be deprived of the daily work and grind or the exercise that comes with carrying voluminous paper books. We may witness a rise in the number of gym subscriptions in Odisha after the inauguration of the paperless courts. On a more serious note, it is imperative to recognize the existence of the digital divide in India and take steps to bridge this gap. We must and will ensure that the digitization of the court process does not disadvantage the common citizens in any way. E-Seva Kendras are being set up in the high courts and in one district court in each state to assist lawyers and litigants with various e-processes. And we intend to ensure within a period of a year that every one of our court establishments in India will have an E-Seva Kendra. That mission is already being taken place. Apart from E-Seva Kendras, the E-Committee of the Supreme Court has entered into a memorandum of understanding with the Common Service Center Corporation, as a result of which all the e-services which we provide free of charge will be available at every Gram Panchayat throughout the territory of India. It would not be possible to implement the initiatives of the E-Committee of the Supreme Court of India or of the High Courts without the cooperation and enthusiasm of both judges and advocates. It is true that many of us may be unfamiliar with the use of technology and therefore uncomfortable with using it in court proceedings. But you have enthusiasts, and nothing succeeds like success, as Justice M.R. Shah's example itself shows on the use of technology in the courts. As a former member of that group of people who were uncomfortable with the use of technology, I'm happy to report that familiarizing oneself with technology is not as difficult as it may initially seem. After the COVID-19 pandemic, my chamber functions almost entirely without paper, and I am now a self-confessed technology geek. I encourage the legal fraternity to participate in training programs which are being conducted throughout the country by the E-Committee to instruct lawyers on the use of technology. One such training program is being conducted for lawyers appearing before the green bench, which I am presiding over. The green bench today does not mean a bench hearing environmental cases, but a bench which aims to conduct proceedings with zero physical filings, as will hopefully be the case in paperless courts. As part of the digital initiative, of which the Odisha High Court is a leading example and proponent, the National Judicial Data Grid today, which has been put forth by the E-Committee in conjunction with the National Informatics Center, has a source and availability of 75 lakh decided cases and judgments of the high courts. Now, these 75 lakh judgments which we have made available on the National Judicial Data Grid are equipped with a free search text portal and a free text search engine, as a result of which every lawyer across India will be able to source these judgments without payment of anything at all to a private software provider. We now have virtual justice digital clocks, real time. So every district in the country and every court in the country will be able to put up a virtual justice clock, real time, indicating by the minute the number of cases which are being filed and which have been disposed of and cases which are pending. While I was the Chief Justice of the Allahabad High Court, I initiated the project to digitize approximately 1 crore case files in 1 year. This was necessary because large amounts of space were required to store innumerable files, and it was increasingly difficult to manually preserve the decades-old paper books. Many of them were stored under staircases. Several years hence, the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic required us to make radical changes to the justice delivery system by conducting remote hearings and transitioning to e-filing. In doing so, it laid bare the system's limitations and presented us with an opportunity to strengthen the justice delivery system. While courts across the nation have quickly and efficiently adapted to what we have come to term as a new normal, it is important for us to remember that reactive policymaking rarely results in the development of sustainable and bankable solutions. Therefore, courts at all levels must build digital capabilities that are scalable, stable, and designed for use by laypersons and lawyers. The digitization of courts will not only assist in crisis-proofing our justice delivery system, but will also ensure that it is one which is open, transparent, accessible, and cost-effective. Finally, I must note that year after year, the Odisha High Court has established itself as a pioneer in implementing the initiatives of the E-Committee of the Supreme Court of India. Its continuous efforts towards institutionalizing the digitization of courts have turned it into a shining example to be emulated by other courts across the nation. In fact, I would appeal to high courts across India to replicate the digital record rooms which Chief Justice Muralidhar has implemented. My heartiest congratulations to Justice Muralidhar and to everyone involved in implementing the Paperless Courts project. You are the foot soldiers of the digital revolution, and it is with all our combined efforts that we can make this project a resounding success. I wish you continued success in spearheading the digital revolution in our courts, and I end with the hope that what is happening in Odisha will truly be a path-breaking initiative for the rest of the nation to replicate and follow. Thank you.